After weeks of longing and separation, Toan finally reunites with Diem at the peaceful countryside farm, where their hearts reconnect under the silver glow of the moon. From a night of sweet, tender moments to mornings spent planting, tending animals, and building a life together, their love blossoms amidst simplicity and joy. Yet, shadows of the past linger. Toan's mother's disapproval and my home's hidden feelings threaten their newfound happiness. Will their love endure the challenges ahead? Watch as their journey unfolds. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for the full story and never miss a moment of their heartfelt adventure. After weeks of being apart, Toan and Diem finally found themselves reunited in the quiet embrace of the countryside farm. The small wooden house, surrounded by swaying trees and open fields, seemed to welcome them with a gentle serenity they had both longed for. Outside, the silver moon hung low in the sky, casting a soft glow over the garden and the faint silhouettes of animals wandering lazily in the barnyard. The air was crisp but not cold, carrying the delicate scent of wildflowers and freshly turned earth, a fragrance that seemed to seep into their very souls. As they stepped inside, Diem felt an almost surreal sense of homecoming. The house was simple, its wooden floors creaked softly beneath their feet. The furniture was modest, but everything was infused with a sense of warmth and familiarity that city life had never offered. Toan gently took her hand, his touch grounding her in the present, reminding her that this moment, this reunion, was real. His eyes, dark and intense under the moonlight streaming through the windows, held a mix of relief, longing, and unspoken promises. They settled on the small couch near the fireplace, its warmth enveloping them as if the house itself were embracing their reunion. Words felt almost unnecessary at first, they simply held each other, letting the silence speak volumes. Every heartbeat seemed amplified in the quiet night, every sigh a testament to the longing that had built up over the past weeks. Diem rested her head on Toan's shoulder, feeling the steady rhythm of his heartbeat, a sound that had been absent from her life far too long. She could feel the weight of the days they had spent apart, the worry, the loneliness, and now, finally, the comforting knowledge that they were together again. The night seemed to stretch endlessly, offering them a rare pause from the chaos of their past. Toan gently brushed a strand of hair from Diem's face, tucking it behind her ear with tender care. "I missed you more than I can ever say," he whispered, his voice low but full of emotion. Diem's lips curved into a soft smile, tears threatening to spill as she shook her head, unable to find words that could capture the depth of her feelings. Instead, she simply whispered back, "I missed you too. So much." They talked then, in soft, hushed tones, recounting every small detail of the days they had spent apart. The simple joys, the little frustrations, the fleeting moments of happiness, they shared everything. As though speaking aloud would stitch together the fragments of their time apart into a single, seamless whole. Laughter bubbled up occasionally, breaking through the tenderness, creating a melody that felt as natural as the night air around them. Even the sounds of the countryside, the distant call of an owl, the rustling of leaves, the faint murmur of a creek, seemed to harmonize with their presence, blessing their reunion. As the hours passed, the world outside faded. The worries, the misunderstandings, the dangers of the past, they all seemed to dissolve into the night, leaving only the warmth between them. Toan held Diem closer, pressing a gentle kiss to her temple, then her forehead. Savoring the closeness he had longed for. Every touch, every whispered word, every glance carried the weight of weeks of separation, turning ordinary moments into an unforgettable tapestry of intimacy and love. By the time they finally drifted into sleep, the moon had climbed higher, bathing the farm in silver light. Wrapped in each other's arms, hearts beating in quiet synchrony, Toan and Diem felt a profound sense of peace, a night of sweet reunion, of love rekindled, of hope restored. For the first time in what felt like forever, they knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, this moment was theirs, and it would linger in their memories like a soft, unbreakable promise. The morning after their night of reunion, Toan and Diem awoke to the soft golden light of dawn spilling through the wooden windows of the farmhouse. The air smelled of earth and dew, and the distant crowing of roosters carried a sense of rhythm and stability that city life had never offered. Diem stretched lazily, feeling the comfort of the quilt wrapped around them and the lingering warmth of Toan's embrace. She glanced at him, still sleeping peacefully, and her heart swelled with a mixture of love and relief. For the first time in weeks, she felt that life could indeed be simple, gentle, and entirely hers to savor. Stepping outside, they were greeted by the vibrant greens of the garden and the soft rustle of leaves in the morning breeze. Toan took Diem's hand, leading her across the yard as they admired the rows of vegetables and herbs that he had begun tending in anticipation of her return. Together, they planned the day's tasks, but it was less a schedule than a shared adventure. They laughed as they measured out seeds, dug small trenches for planting, and carried buckets of water from the well. Each task, ordinary in its nature, was infused with joy simply because they were doing it together. As they moved through the farm, caring for the animals, Diem discovered the simple magic of everyday life. She fed the chickens, delighting in how they clucked and jostled each other for food, and helped Toan groom the cows, their gentle eyes following her every motion. There was a rhythm to their work, a flow that demanded attention yet allowed space for conversation, for quiet companionship. They spoke of dreams they had long postponed, of little ideas for improving the farm, and even of the small pleasures they had missed in the bustling city: sunlight on their skin, the smell of soil, the satisfaction of a day's honest labor. By mid-afternoon, the sun shone warmly over the fields, casting long shadows and highlighting the golds and greens of the landscape. Diem paused to wipe sweat from her brow, leaning against Toan and feeling a deep sense of gratitude. She realized that here, on this simple farm, life could be meaningful not through wealth or recognition, but through shared moments and the quiet nurturing of living things. Every plant they watered, every egg collected, every animal fed became a testament to the life they were building together, a life grounded in love, trust, and mutual care. Evenings were perhaps the most enchanting. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of rose and amber, they would sit on the porch together, hands intertwined, listening to the chorus of crickets and the distant barking of dogs. Toan would tell stories of his childhood, and Diem would laugh, sometimes wiping a tear from her eye at the memories that touched her heart. Each story, each laugh, each gentle touch wove them closer together, strengthening the bond that had been tested by separation and longing. Yet, beneath the calm and contentment, a quiet awareness lingered in Diem's heart. She couldn't entirely let go of the past. The memory of Toan's mother's disapproval. The unspoken emotions of my home, they hovered at the edges of her mind, a reminder that the world outside the farm was not entirely subdued. Still, in the embrace of their new life, she found courage. With Toan by her side, each day felt like a step toward reclaiming joy and building a future that was theirs alone. As night fell and the stars began to shimmer across the vast sky, Diem leaned her head on Toan's shoulder. The farm was alive with quiet, contented sounds, the rustle of leaves, the low hum of insects, the occasional cluck of a chicken settling down for the night. In that moment, surrounded by the simplicity and beauty of their shared life, Diem realized that happiness wasn't always loud or dramatic. Sometimes, it was found in the soft rhythm of everyday moments, shared in love and companionship. And with Toan, she was finally home. As the days at the farm unfolded, Toan and Diem found themselves sinking deeper into a rhythm of shared work and quiet joy. Yet, despite the warmth of their reunion and the gentle simplicity of country life, Diem could not entirely silence the whispers of unease that lingered in her mind. Even as she planted rows of fresh vegetables beside Toan or laughed with him while collecting eggs from the coop, there was a shadow of worry that never quite left her heart. She knew that their past was not entirely behind them. Toan's mother, whose disapproval had once cast long shadows over their love, and my home, whose lingering affection for Toan remained unspoken but palpable, could still disrupt the fragile peace they had fought so hard to achieve. One evening, as the sun began to sink behind the distant hills and painted the sky in shades of gold and crimson, Diem found herself sitting on the porch, her fingers absent-mindedly tracing the wooden railing. The soft chirping of crickets and the gentle rustle of the wind through the trees seemed to magnify the quiet ache in her chest. Toan noticed the distant look in her eyes and sat beside her, placing a comforting hand over hers. "Something on your mind?" he asked gently, his voice low but full of concern. Diem took a deep breath, trying to steady the fluttering anxiety in her chest. "It's just, I can't stop thinking about your mother and my home," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "What if they haven't truly let go? What if they try to interfere again?" Toan tightened his hold on her hand, meeting her gaze with an unwavering determination. "No one can take this from us," he said firmly. "Not your fears, not my mother's disapproval, not my home's feelings. This farm, this life, and everything we're building here, it's ours. And I promise, I will protect it. Protect you, no matter what." Diem felt the warmth of his conviction seep into her, calming some of the restless worries that had taken root. She leaned into him, allowing herself to believe, at least for a moment, that they could withstand whatever storms might come. Still, a part of her knew that life rarely stayed so peaceful for long. Over the next few days, subtle reminders of the outside world would intrude. A distant visitor stopping by the farm asking vague questions, a letter from a friend that hinted at lingering tensions, and the occasional news of family disputes far away. All these little disturbances chipped away at the illusion that the farm was a perfect sanctuary. Diem found herself more attentive, more cautious, and sometimes more anxious than she wished to admit. Yet, each time she looked at Toan, working tirelessly beside her, laughing as he carried buckets of water or lifted hay bales, she remembered why they had come here in the first place, to build a life together, rooted in love, trust, and mutual support. One quiet night, as they sat together watching the stars shimmer across the clear sky, Diem rested her head on Toan's shoulder. "I want to believe everything will be all right," she whispered. Toan kissed the top of her head, his voice calm and resolute. "It will be," he said. "Because we face it together. No one can change what we have." Diem closed her eyes, letting the gentle night wrap around her. While the shadow of past doubt still lingered, she felt a tentative sense of hope. The farm was more than a home, it was a promise, a sanctuary where they could nurture not only crops and animals, but their love and trust. And though challenges might come, she knew that together, they could face anything. For now, the world could wait, and their hearts could simply exist in the quiet, tender rhythm of life at the farm, clinging to the joy they had finally fought to reclaim.